Lunch was amazing. Good afternoon. Scotty Christopher Caswell wants to know how to get the best picture out of your Note 8. Well, Christopher, it's very simple. You just pull the phone out and double press the power button, point, and shoot. Have a good one, stay beaming. Just kidding. Obviously, you could just put it on automatic mode and it'll take care of itself most of the time. But if you want more control and more refined picture, then Pro mode is for you. So if there's light coming behind it like there is through this window and you're trying to focus on something in the foreground like that, tapping on the subject will help. Also, you see the little lightness slider on the right there. That will help to illuminate it a little bit more. Or we could just go to Pro mode. With Pro mode, you have control over the focus. So you can grab that little slider and then pull it up or down. Whenever you see the green show up on the edges, like with Phoebe's whiskers right there, that it doesn't really show that well, actually. Hold on. Anytime you see what you want focused on outlined in green, you know that it is focused correctly. Next, we go to the white balance. There are other presets here, but I just like to use the slider. And if you'll notice, the further up you go, the warmer it goes, the further down you go, the cooler it goes. I like to put it about right there. Like if you go to the fluorescent or the incandescent, like everything just gets blown way out of whack, and I hardly ever use these presets. I just go to the slider where I can set it myself. This is the shutter speed. The higher you set it, the longer the shutter is open, therefore more light gets through, and you can adjust accordingly. Keep in mind that the further up you push that, the longer it's going to take a picture. So once you get up to, I don't know, the 4-second mark or so, put it on a tripod because your picture will look like crap if you don't. Next we go to the ISO. Especially with these phones, or with cell phones in general, the lower you put, or the higher you put the ISO, the more grainy it will appear. So try to avoid this, but again, like if you don't have a tripod with you at all times, which is the general majority of people, then just use the ISO to bump up that brightness. It's kind of like a last resort, or it should be considered as a last resort. These right here are filters that are built in to the camera. Well, not really filters, but kind of presets as far as all the parameters and stuff are concerned. Now we'll try outside. We'll shoot over to Pro mode. Oh my goodness, that's hella bright. It will remember the last settings you left it on, which can be convenient and inconvenient at the same time. We're going to lower the shutter speed about to here. Let's get the tree focused in there along with the grass. Alright, white balance. Oh dear, oh dear. But yeah, no, way too much. Goodness gracious. About right. There. Now let's go to the ISO. Since there's so much light coming in from outside, we're going to set it down lower, like below 100, or right around 100, 125 or so. And then we're going to go up to the shutter speed and then up that a little bit to compensate for that brightness. Or for the reduced brightness, I guess. Refocus. There we go, looks good. Take that picture. Then we'll go over to auto mode and then snap a picture there. Now, tell me which one looks better, auto, Pro mode, auto, Pro mode. Really at this point it's kind of subjective, but you get the idea. Now let's try shooting in low light conditions. In Pro mode, oh my goodness gracious, I'm gonna adjust that real quick. Move the shutter speed back up to here, but that's way too close, like that's at the 1 second mark. You don't want it open for that long unless you have it on a tripod because it'll look super grainy. I'm gonna focus in on Star Trek. We'll adjust the shutter speed. Well, I don't know. Let's see. Let's put it up to 4 seconds, and you'll see like how difficult it is to keep it steady or to keep the picture looking nice while you're trying to hold it. ISO is around 350 or so. And the white balance, let's make it, that's too warm, that's right about there. Now I would try some of these, but I'm going to show you how much further you can customize this. We're first going to make the color temperature, kind of like we did with the white balance, but it's a little more precise. Make it a little cooler. I've always liked the cooler ones. tint between green and red. Some cameras will make it turn out green, some cameras will make it turn out red, but we'll just leave it alone at this point. I like a lot of contrast, and a lot of this is just subjective, but I do want that Star Trek and the gold to kind of pop out, so we're going to up the saturation. And the lighting is kind of fluctuating in the background because the cats insisted on looking through the blinds, so my bad, or their bad actually. Up the highlights a little bit, and the shadows is, we'll put it right there. I like it. But you see how long it's taking it to hold the picture, or to take the picture? Now look what happens. Ah, it's terrible. So no. You gotta go back to the aperture. In the low light cases, you're going to have to either get a tripod, if you're shooting things that are staying still, that is, or just bump the ISO all the way up to 800, because it's better than having it look like it did before. There we go, much better. Now let's go over to auto mode and see what the phone thinks is the best. Oh my god! Ah! I don't know, there's the auto mode and there's the manual mode. So when you have a lot more control over how the picture's taken, you can see the difference. Now if you do have it on a tripod and it's in a dark area and you set the exposure all the way up to 10 seconds, then you can have some really cool looking footage like this. Well, not footage, but a picture. My little brother Kyler and I, we put the phone in a dark bathroom, and then there was just a little bit of light in the hallway, but we sat or stood against the wall and moved our heads a lot, like this, while it was taking the picture, because since our heads were the only thing that were moving, ended up looking like this. So it's like we're possessed or something, like, that was a lot of fun. Jason saw it and he's like, ah! Ah! Apparently that kind of thing creeps him out. And I would also like to thank the Scottys. And we'll start with the Scotty that requested this video topic, and that is Christopher Caswell. Also we have Stuart Glover, Kyler, Nick Hawks, Spidget, Sin O, Josh Utley, Shannon Jones, Unit Omega, and John O'Brien.
I stay with my Scottys. My Scottys are my boys. I ride with them. And I put that on the generation.
Also to our couple beamers. That will be Albert and Mr. Patrick Hayes. And for the beamers, there's also Encrypted Bunny and Excelsior. Happy snapping, shooting, filming, however you'd like to say it, and stay beaming.